Yep, another unboxing. But this one's different, I promise. Hey everybody, my name is... Yeah, moving on as usual. The iPhone SE. Yeah, it's my new phone and can't move ahead without a video ritual. So I'm here to unbox it. Let's go ahead. So this is actually the US version, as I ordered it from the States because I wanted FaceTime, and I expected the phone to be present in the States and be shipped from there, considering the fact that we all know where phones are manufactured from today, but it didn't. So the phone actually came after a rather tedious world tour, shipping from China, going to South Korea, shedding a bit of whiskers in Japan, I think, and then landing in the US, and then finally has arrived over here in the United Arab Emirates. I don't even know if I've missed another country. But anyway, the next measure that I'm about to do is for the times that we live in, so please don't start judging me. Yeah. So I'm just gonna... never mind. Let's go ahead and unbox it. Okay, let's see what's inside the box.
Wait, hold up. It's pretty obvious that y'all have seen thousands of unboxings. Even if not, y'all do know what's inside this box. So let's speed things up a little, shall we? So let's talk about what's different on this phone compared to the 2 brothers and 3 sisters it has, namely the iPhone 7 and 8 and the 6, 6S and the original SE. What? I tried. Even I had budget issues. But creativity? Nah, that's never an issue. And just for the people wondering, same thing goes for these background props. What? I thought no one bats an eye when the others do it. Moving on. So for now, let's compare the last 2 generations. The iPhone 7, which was my primary device up until now, and the iPhone 8, which I always longed to buy, but for some reason I just couldn't. Sorry, did I just say eason? Alright, stop right there if that's too much cringe for you, because things are about to get worse. So the iPhone 7 lacked wireless charging and a couple of other features, and the iPhone 8 actually corrected them. But wow, where do I begin with the SE? I mean, so many amazing features. The A13 Bionic chip, amazing camera, there's wireless charging, and yeah, that should sum up pretty much. What? You thought I'm gonna repeat each and every single feature just like the rest of YouTube? Nah, spare the time, help yourself.
Now, even though most of you might be impressed with all of this, but some of you still might complain about how dated this device looks. And that's what everybody has been saying.
The iPhone from 3 years ago.
The body of an iPhone 8.
This is literally the same design as the iPhone 8.
Exactly like an iPhone 8.
An iPhone 8.
iPhone 8.
iPhone 8.
iPhone 8.
iPhone 8. iPhone 8.
iPhone 8.
iPhone 8. For God's sake, stop body shaming it already. As if we don't do it enough for the humans, let alone these phones. Y'all don't like it? Y'all don't like this? Just a sec.
Yep. Talk now.
That's not how a D-Brands entry should be. Let's do it again.
Talk now, Channel sponsor, D-Brands. Oh, no. D-Brands is not the channel sponsor. But yes, I did order this skin from them. And I think it transforms the whole look of the phone. I think it makes it look very stealthy. What do you guys think? I mean, looks amazing, right? Looks very nice to me. Or How about this one? A complete white transfiguration. Yeah, I mean, I know this looks weird, but you get the idea, right? I think that this is the best color option that one can opt for, as the phone is just one step away from truly changing its color identity. It's just the best of both worlds, with the white frosty glass at the back. Well, the glass is not frosted, but rather the color is frosty, I guess, and the all black bezels up front. And I guess we know why Apple didn't go for the white front either, but I guess it's okay to try out different looks right out of the box, right?
Speaking of boxes, wasn't this supposed to be an unboxing?
Oh, again, okay, designed by Apple in California. These are the stickers and SIM ejection tool, I think, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so here's the phone itself, and wow, pretty neat. I mean, it has a solid feel to it. It's kind of heavy. People say it's light, but yeah, you know. Now, I was ever so excited for this phone simply because I was waiting to upgrade from my phone and just waiting for something to be a worthy successor to my iPhone, which has rightfully turned out to be this. The most sought after and best value proposition of the year, I feel, you know. The iPhone SE Special Edition. Well, I might be exaggerating, but what I feel is what I feel. So speaking of feelings, I actually don't feel like removing this. Nope. I would like it to be the way it is, so clean. I kind of have an OCD. I might just have a solution. I'll just be back. Yep, I did pause the video in real time, go and apply a screen protector and add this cool effect, and have now resumed. Well, I'm just being careful, you know. I don't want to take any risks.
बिल्कुल रिस्क नहीं लेने का.
Risks, I meant. Now, I've actually gone for the 256 gig variant because this will be replacing my iPhone 7, which was the 32 gig variant, as I mentioned earlier in the future. Well, future of this moment, but past in the video, of course, as you all know. Okay, so let's just go ahead and boot it up. That's there.
A few minutes later. 1 hour later.
Whew, welcome to iPhone. Okay, I like the wallpaper. I definitely do like the wallpaper. Okay, so the Touch ID didn't work the first time. Oh, so you have to press it. I think I have to set it up. Well, okay. I've set it up, and yeah, it took quite a while, you know, 6 hours as a chunk, and I've basically set up the phone that I wanted, the way that I wanted, rather, you know, all the main apps, the most frequent ones, social apps, the utilities, maybe Apple apps, Google apps, streaming apps, video calling apps, the extras, and games and news and maps and so on. So yeah, it took a lot of time, and one thing I can say for sure is that since I've been using the phone, you know, I've almost got about 4 hours of screen time over here, and you know, it's I can absolutely tell that this phone is blazing fast. It's no slouch whatsoever, you know. Whatever task I've put at it, it just goes through. It's just blazing fast. Apple has really done a great job, you know, putting the same processor as their flagships in this one, and I think it really does a great job, you know. Something that we we all wanted in a budget phone actually. Okay, so now the average people and the audience, I think those who are excited for this phone will be upgrading from the likes of the 6s and the 7s and even probably the 8, and yeah, I think that's a fair upgrade. This is the latest and the best device in this design, but God, do I hate these YouTubers. Every single one of them uses an iPhone 11 Pro Max as their daily driver, I get it that they're rich, but it's just absolutely unfair of them to, pit that mammoth of a device up against this, which is just a budget phone. I mean, you're comparing a full-fledged $1,000 more expensive phone to this one, which is just what, $399, $400. I hate that phone, the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I mean, what kind of naming convention is that? And yeah, even for free, I'd never even consider buying it, or yeah. Well, okay. Don't worry, this is not my phone. It's my friend's. Shout out to my friend who lended me this one for the video, and that's his. And this is his daily driver. But I think I've already told him that I'm roasting it, so I think it's fine. Well, yeah, you can see the differences in screen size and the body, of course, the cameras, but just look at how these both phones look. I mean, Apple does really know how to make a good-looking white phone, and seriously, they're just really gorgeous to look at. If you see the colors on the SE are much more pronounced and much more clearer. Frosted, if I may say so, is yeah, that's the texture on the 11 Pro Max on the glass behind, and granted it has a much more premium finish with the frosted back and the silver camera rings, the silver rings around the camera, and the stainless steel too, of course. But I think if you talk of color accuracy, the SE just takes it away, because the white looks just so much pure on this, and if you can see the screen sizes, yes, there is you could actually just fit in this phone on top of this one, and it just fits right in. And if you see, I think both of them just look absolutely great,
complementing each other and also quarreling with each other. Why do I say that? Yeah, that is why. So Apple literally put the exact same processor as the 11 Pros in the SE, so you're technically buying that phone internally with this one. Now, I know I told I would not be repeating each and every single feature like the rest of you do, but I'm essentially sharing knowledge on this phone, so how is it fair to not include the highlights of some of its most impressive features? So here's a quick one to begin with, a demo, and I think this is something to show off, especially in today's times. Now, we all do know that the Touch ID is second gen, but it is just so much more relevant today. And what's surprising to me is it even works with two gloves. Yes, I have not just kept them for show or backdrop, but as you can see, it works with two gloves. Not just one, even two. Tell me if your iPhone 11 can do that with those masks on. Now, we'll just do a quick rundown of some more of its features, but if you already know about them, feel free to skip to the next segment. So, the next one is portrait mode. On the rear camera and the front, with depth control and portrait lighting filters. All of this on a single lens. I know, I shouldn't be screaming, but you're basically getting depth control for both front and back cameras with just a single lens. So that's essentially making the point of a dual lens pointless. Yeah. 4K video at 60 FPS with Smart HDR, OIS and stereo recording. Well, that is 4K resolution of video recorded at 60 frames per second with Smart High Dynamic Range with optical image stabilization and stereo recording. Well, I'm not flexing my tongue, but do you all know what that means? Legit cinematic quality videos with great microphone recording as its stereo. And have you ever tried the OIS on an iPhone? Actually, the iPhones don't get too much credit for certain capabilities, and video is definitely one of the best things on an iPhone. Just try recording a 60 fps 4K video on any other phone at the same price point, and then we can have a chat. IP67 water resistance. So you can probably take a shower with this phone if you take less than 30 minutes to complete. And a whole lot more things are actually very impressive on this price point on an iPhone. And one of the more usable things I'd say is the capability of dual SIM standby with eSIM support up to 3 or I think 6 SIM cards that can be remembered at the same time, and wireless charging with 18 watt fast charging. Well, wireless charging might not necessarily be a big deal today, but for me personally it is, coming from the 7, and I guess neither is the fast charging, because iPhones anyway used to charge up pretty fast even without the fast charging, you know. The SE is touted to charge and go up till 50% in 30 minutes. When I tested my iPhone 7 recently, I got 30% in 30 minutes. Well, 20% is significant, if not too much, but I think it's a big deal if you're in a time crunch. Which actually brings me to some of the features that might be surprisingly shocking to you about the SE, which probably nobody else has noted till now. So the brightness levels on the iPhone SE are at 625 nits, and I've been using the phone. It's pretty bright, but you might be thinking that's actually a pretty decent number, and while it actually is, it's a downplay by Apple over the years from the iPhone 7. You see, the peak brightness on an iPhone 7 is 705 nits. So that's a bummer in itself, that the newer gen phone is actually less brighter than a phone which is 2 generations and technically 4 years older. Now, it's important to understand why this is such an important phone for Apple. For me personally, it's a significant upgrade over the historically tired iPhone 7, but the numbers speak volumes of Apple's most favorite phone ever sold, the iPhone 6. 221 million units. That's right, the third most sold phone ever in the world till date, trailing behind just 2 Nokias, of course. Well, here, the stats don't lie. Now, I know one should have trust issues with wiki pages, but Apple has to confirm from its side that the phone that they've sold the most is the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus. But that's just half the point, considering that all the models ahead of the 6 up until the 8 were mildly adjusted reiterations of essentially the same device. It's safe to prove why the design has further retained to make another lasting comeback, and this time probably the last one. The point to prove here being 400 million plus. Yes, that's the combined number of iPhones that Apple has sold worldwide, ranging from the 6 till the 8, and that's from the years 2014 till 2017. Now, in comparison, the models from the 2017's all-screen bezel-less iPhone 10s up until the 11 Pro Maxes of last year, Apple has only sold a little less than 150 million smart units, 144.1 to be exact. So that's approximately a 1:3 ratio for the same number of years. Staggering, isn't it? But a lot has changed in the recent years. Although the unit sales of these iPhones have drastically gone down, the unit prices of each of these models has skyrocketed each year. Therefore, Apple bringing back a yesteryear's flagship with the heart of the current gen model, the A13 Bionic in the 11 Pro and the Pro Max, in 2020 only helps to think that Apple still cares about the huge number of consumers who are still hanging on to their older iPhones dearly, even till date, finally giving them a chance to look up to something for an upgrade. So now, coming to the last part, upgrades. For the people coming from the original SE, yes, of course this is an obvious upgrade. There will be things that they'll miss though, like the smaller screen size and probably the headphone jack. But come on, bid adieu to those days already. We're in 2020 and 4.7 inches is the new small, and 6 inch and probably I'd say 7 inch is the new tall, you know. For the people with 6 and 6S, the SE is a perfect upgrade for the people coming from the 6, but also not too less from the 6S. There will be quite some things that they'll miss though. Again, the headphone jack returns for the miss, and the 3D touch on the 6S, maybe quite a lot, but there's a lot more to gain. For the people with the 7, again, positively yes, if not necessarily, Well, if you have a good storage variant of the 7 and your phone has not been giving you any sorts of trouble, I'd say you can hang in there. But the upgrade will definitely unlock quite many more features and give you gains over the current iPhone that you're on. Things that you'll miss, the 3D touch the most, and the slightly brighter display and the slightly bigger battery. But other than that, it's a good upgrade from the 7. For the people with the 8, not necessary, but this will be the last flag in this direction if they upgrade, or if they ever want to. Now, these are my assumptions, but chances are that if you bought the 8 already, you definitely were not amongst the ones who cared for things like Face ID and infinity displays, or even the dual lens cameras of the 10s and 11s. Therefore, this is the definite upgrade if you still want a newer gen phone, which will be future proof for up to 3 more years than the 8 and at least 5 more years in totality, to be precise.
Also, things that you'll miss: 3D touch. That's it. The rest, everything else is exactly the same on the SE as the iPhone 8.
Now for the plus size people, phones, the 6 and 6S Plus, 7 Plus and the 8 Plus. From these phones, if you go to the SE, I don't really have an answer. I'm probably saying no to upgrade, or let's say half grade from these phones. If you have a 7 Plus, you can maybe consider, but the ones on the 8 Plus, absolutely not. The 8 Plus is a great phone. The only things that you're probably gaining with the SE are the dual SIM and gigabyte LTE capabilities, which if you desperately do need, you might wanna consider, but to the regular layman, it doesn't make any sense. I actually envy the people who like bigger screen phones because you always get more screen real estate on that size. And considering the way phones are today, all screens are all in. I personally have large palms, which are above average in size, but I prefer a grippier, much more compact phone for easy one-handed use, probably because I indulge in a lot of one-handed driving. Yeah, not to forget that I have owned large screen devices before, like the BlackBerry Passport, which was a mammoth of a phone in terms of sizing. So yeah, there it is. Oh wait, I forgot to add another trick up the iPhone SE sleeve.
For all the body shaming losers out there, we won't have to buy new sets of covers and screen protectors for the SE, cause you know why till now.
Jamila?
So let's talk about what's different on this phone. So let's talk about what's different on this phone compared to the 2 brothers and 3 sisters that it has, namely the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 8. Man, the autofocus is so For the people with 6 and 6S, absolute yes. Why is the autofocus so bad?
Small, it's a budget phone. Yeah, it's really a budget phone, and oh shit. God, I really do hate that phone. I seriously do. Even for free. God, I hate that phone. Seriously, no.
If you have the 7 Plus, you might want to consider, but from... Why?
Wait. अरे ऑफ नहीं करना था.
The iPhone 8. No, dude, this is wireless charging and and just for the people wondering, yes, those background props are actually paper cutouts. So if y'all don't like them, don't got an issue.
Finally done with this.
photographs, please.